So, properties of a rhombus. Rhombus, again, is a type of parallelogram, so it shares all the same properties of a parallelogram. Sides are congruent, opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles congruent, consecutive angles supplementary, diagonals bisect. In addition, what makes a rhombus special is that it has 4 congruent sides. All its sides are equal. Its diagonals intersect in a perpendicular, and its diagonals bisect the opposite angles. So that gives us a lot to work with when we're solving for missing information. Let's take a look. So here we're given JK as 12, and we know that JN is 7. Okay, JN is 7. So JM also has to be equal to 12 because all 4 sides are going to be congruent as it is a rhombus. Now it's asking us for JL. Since this is bisected and we know JN is 7, we know that NL also has to be 7. That means the entirety of JL has to be 14. Then we're going to be looking for MN. Now you might think that that is going to be equal to 7, but remember that the diagonals bisect each other, but they are not congruent. So we're going to try to find MN, and we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to solve. Because we know that these come together in a 90-degree angle, so we can use this triangle where we know the side length is 7, and we know that this has to be 12. Okay, so we can set it up using Pythagorean Theorem. Remember, that's a squared plus b squared, where a and b are the legs of the triangle that form the 90-degree angle, is equal to c squared, which is our hypotenuse, or the longest side opposite the 90-degree angle. Now we've been given one of the lengths of the legs, that's 7 squared, and we don't know the length of the other leg, that's going to be our x squared. It's important that if you're solving for a leg, it's either a or b. And we have been given that 12 squared is going to be c, that's our hypotenuse. So that'll give us 49 plus x squared has to be equal to 144. Or x squared is equal to 95. Get rid of our exponent by taking the square root of both sides. The inverse cancels that out and gives us x is either equal to the square root of 95. You can leave it like that, or you can say x is equal to 9.7. Either way is fine. So in this case, mn is 9.7. And mk would be twice that amount because it would also be equal to x. So you could either say 2 square roots of 95, or you could say 19.4. Now let's take a look at some of our angles and how we'll go about solving for our angles. So we're given 38, and we're trying to find angle 1. Well, you might not think that that's a whole lot of information to work with, but we do have some additional information based on the properties. Based on the properties alone, we know that this is going to be a 90-degree angle. Okay. So if this is 90 degrees, it's going to allow us to solve for angle 7. Okay, because 38 plus 90 plus angle 7 have to equal 180 degrees because that is a triangle, right? So we have 38 plus 90 plus some amount for angle 7 is going to be equal to 180. Okay, so add those two together, subtract from 180, and we get x is equal to 52 degrees. Sweet. So we've solved, and we know that angle 7 is 52 degrees. And that gets us on our way. Okay, if we know angle 7 is 52 degrees, then we know angle 2 is 52 degrees. We know angle 2 has to be 52 degrees because alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay. From here, we can continue to solve for our missing angles. We can continue to solve by using the fact that the diagonals bisect a given angle. Okay, so we know that if this angle is 52 degrees, then now we can figure out that angle 1 also has to be 52 degrees because it must bisect this angle. So that means angle 1 is 52 degrees, angle 2 is equal to 52 degrees. So this entire angle would be 104 degrees. Angle 3, again, because the angles are bisected by their diagonals, has to be congruent with 38 degrees. And the same with angle 4. We know that this angle is 38 degrees, so this one has to be 38 degrees because alternate interior angles. And then from there we know that angle 5 has to be 38 degrees because of angle bisectors. Angle 6, 52 degrees. And angle 8 is an interior angle formed by the diagonals, which are perpendicular, so 90 degrees. Hopefully this will help you apply the properties of rhombuses to solve for missing angles. Just as a reminder, for congruent sides, diagonals are perpendicular, which means they come together in 4 right angles. Diagonals bisect opposite angles.